Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about uh, returning veterans for the 2018 season. This is serious camo time, all right? So, in this video, we're going to talk about 6 veterans and whether or not they're going to return to the Dallas Cowboys. These are pretty big names, all right? So, let's go over the list here. First guy that we want to talk about. Is this player going to return to the Dallas Cowboys? Are they going to keep any of these players? All right, so let's take a look at this first player. First player we're going to talk about, Tyrone Crawford. All right, he's going to be 29 years old. His cap number is $9.1 million. If they designate him a June 1 cut, Cowboys will save $6 million in cap space. All right, so Tyrone Crawford, kind of averaging or hovering around 4 sacks a season. More of a rotational guy, but they're paying him big time starter money. I mean, you know, they rolled the dice when they gave him his new contract, thinking that he would be the 3-tech Warren Sapp, Aaron Donald type of guy. That never happened. All right, he's had some injuries here throughout his career. Just more of a rotational guy. It looked like he had a spurt of sacks here during the season, but kind of the same. You kind of know what you're getting out of Tyrone Crawford, 29 years old this upcoming season. So, do they keep him? It might be a foregone conclusion that they're probably going to cut him. I mean, you're going to add $6 million. But when you take the con, okay, we're going to talk about the pros and cons. But so the con about this would be your depth. All right, if you're going to take him out of the picture, you better have some other guys here that can, come in here and fill that role. And there aren't many. I mean, I don't think it's difficult to find players that can get 4 sacks a season, rotational guys at a cheaper value, at a cheaper price. Okay, so what do you guys think on Tyrone Crawford? Think about that there. All right. Next guy we're going to talk about, Orlando Scandrick. He's going to be 31 years old. His number is going to be $5.3 million on the cap. If they designate him a June 1 cut, they'll save $3 million. All right, so kind of getting the feeling that he may be out of the picture just based on the youth that they're doing there in the secondary. So. Couple that with the price that he's making and the savings that they'll save if they designate him a June 1 cut and playing time. So I could see Orlando Scandrick being a guy that doesn't come back along with Tyrone Crawford. He's done well here. He's had a good career here with the Cowboys, but as he gets older here, we're starting to see the frequency of injuries starting to increase. Playing time has been going down. Quality of play is kind of, hit and miss. So it looks like the Cowboys may move on from that one there. Terrance Williams is the next guy that we want to talk about. 29 years old. He's going to count $4.75 million against the cap. Now, if they were to cut him, 0 savings. Okay, so for anybody interested in Terrance Williams, I know some people say, hey, let's cut Terrance Williams, the body catcher, that kind of thing. I'm with you. Understand that. Terrance Williams is very frustrating, but as far as the cap goes, he's probably going to be safe. The con about keeping him would be, is he going to be one of these stopgap guys that, hinders some of the younger guys from developing and moving into that role? And also, the con about keeping Terrance Williams, he's a body catcher, so deflected balls turn into interceptions. We've seen that with him and Dez Bryant a lot this season. Just the hands, what happened to them. We know Terrance Williams never really had hands, but it's a liability. When you're a body catcher and it bounces off your pads, it bounces into the other team's hands, and those guys are catching it. All right, so Terrance Williams probably going to come back. All right, so the next guy that we want to talk about, Cole Beasley, another receiver, 29 years old. Surprisingly, 2018 is the final year of his contract. All right, it just seems like yesterday he got the extension, but He's already coming through the end of his contract, so he's probably coming back. And I think you can still get something out of Beasley. You know, just as it comes down to Linehan scheming up those receivers to get them open. This is a big thing with Linehan. If they keep this guy, cross your fingers, man. Cross your fingers. I don't have faith in Linehan, but whoever's coordinating, they need to get Beasley back in the fold here. And because he was usually, I mean, he's been pretty much Mr. First Down, you know, for the last couple of seasons. He's been the go-to guy to get the first down. Hard to cover. This season, I think teams zoned in on him more than they did Dez Bryant, because Cole Beasley did a lot of damage last season. This season, teams saw that. They locked him down, and there were no adjustments. Scott Linehan and this staff didn't do any adjustments, never did. I mean, adjustments. These guys, it seems like they're just, you know, learning on the job. It almost seems like. So we'll see what they do there. But I think Beasley comes back. Sean Lee, the next guy that we want to talk about, he's going to be 32 years old. He's got a big cap hit, $11 million. If they designate him a June 1 cut, $7 million. All right, so this is going to be a tough one for me. Obviously, the pro is you're saving a lot of money. You can flip that money and go after some other free agents. The con is we saw what happened when Sean Lee is not on the field. This team suffers immensely. They can't stop anything. They can't stop a nosebleed. So Sean Lee, also, you know, if you remember, they've been kicking his contract down. You know, they've been kicking that can down the road. You know, flipping some of that money, turning into guarantees, and you know, restructuring. So I think there's a good chance that Sean Lee comes back, because, you know, I don't know if they want to roll the dice like that. That's a big one. You know, if he's not here, you better have somebody who is just as good or better. And there are no other Sean Lees. He's a one-of-a-kind kind of player. The only other linebacker that I would think is at his level would be like a Luke Kuechly and a Bobby Wagner, those kind of guys. But they're rare. You know, he's a rare breed. So Sean Lee, big cap numbers, but I think in the end he does come back. They have to have him. You know, Rod Marinelli has to have that captain, and the defense goes with him. If he's not there, the defense it goes away. So Cowboys need to figure out what to do in that aspect. Sean Lee sticks around here. They gotta have an up and coming guy. They have to address linebacker. All right. The final guy here, the elephant in the room that we all really want to talk about, Dez Bryant, 29 years old, $16.5 million cap hit. If they designate him a June 1 cut, Cowboys will save 12.5 to the cap. That's a big chunk. That money can be flipped to signing guys. You know, a long-term deal for DeMarcus Lawrence. Obviously, Zach Martin's not going anywhere. He's going to get, you know, they're going to roll out the Brinks truck, like I always say. They're going to pay him. And, you know, hopefully they can at least franchise tag DeMarcus Lawrence. And, you know, just maybe as a prove-it deal. Some of these contracts the Cowboys have done lately have stung them bad. Dez Bryant, obviously, is one of the ones here that's stinging them right now. They're going to have to make the move there. The pro, obviously, is saving the money. The con is, you know, who do you get to replace him? You know, if you replace him, you got to bring in somebody that can fill in the production, which hasn't been much. You know, he's missed some time here, getting a lot of injuries, and just not as productive. You know, I think these injuries that he's suffered the last few seasons have really, you know, robbed him of his abilities, you know, from what he did, you know, 2014 and before. After he got these injuries, 2015, 2016, it's just, it has not been the same, you know. And, you know, this isn't about hating on Dez Bryant at all. You know, I've been one of Dez's biggest fans. But, you know, with age and injuries, these things just happen. You know, it is a business at the end of the day. And, you know, as fans, we need to keep that in mind. At the end of the day, this is a business. And for the Cowboys to move forward, you got to make these tough decisions, and this will probably be one of the bigger ones that they may have to make. But it may be one that you need to have. You know, if you're wanting Dak Prescott to be the franchise quarterback, you might need to churn the wide receivers and get him some guys here that may suit him a little bit better, and that he can get a fresh, clean slate rapport with. He doesn't have that with some of these guys right now, especially Dez Bryant. So those are the 6 guys that I'm zoning in on. Who will come back and who won't. So let me know what you guys think. Who do you think from these guys the Cowboys are going to cut loose? Who do you think comes back? And as usual, guys, continue to please like, hit the subscribe button, and remember to hit the bell to get all notifications on all new videos. And we'll see you for the next video. Thanks, guys.